Why your silence isn't affecting her? Stoic strategies to regain control and shift the power. Modern Stoic. Silence is not a weakness, it is power. Sometimes we mistakenly think that silence will make someone notice our absence, but when she seems completely unaffected, it leaves us wondering, what's really going on in her mind? And more importantly, how can you ensure she feels the weight of your absence, so heavy that it's impossible for her to ignore? This is not about mere silence. It's about strategically using that silence to reset the power dynamic and reclaim control. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Silence, in this case, is not a reactive stance. It's a deliberate act of strength. It's about finding your center again, drawing from your inner resilience, and turning that quiet into an unmistakable testament to your worth. 1. What really makes her notice? Here's an undeniable truth that many may shy away from. It's not the silence itself that catches her attention, but what you do with that silence. If you simply sit there, doing nothing with your time, she likely won't even notice. But if you channel your energy into living your best life, focused, confident, and thriving, your presence will be felt in a way that silence alone could never achieve. Women possess an uncanny intuition when it comes to energy. They can sense when a man is truly thriving, exuding confidence and purpose. On the flip side, they can also tell when he's not. Imagine this. Silence with no depth is forgettable, but silence coupled with a strong sense of self, growth, and purpose. That becomes unforgettable. It's not just about staying silent, it's about what's happening behind the silence that holds power. It shows in the way you carry yourself, in the energy you bring into every room, and in the way you speak. When she senses that you're no longer emotionally dependent on her, it stirs something deep within her. She may begin to wonder, why is he so content without me? Did I make the wrong choice? This shift in perspective on your part, moving the focus entirely from her to yourself, holds the key to making her notice. When you become genuinely happy, confident, and focused on your own personal growth, it radiates a magnetic energy that's impossible to ignore. Suddenly, her thoughts shift from what she thought she knew about you to a deeper curiosity about you. She'll wonder whether she made the right decision, and she'll feel drawn to you not because you've pleaded for her attention, but because you've created the space for your own life to unfold in a fulfilling way without her. That's when the power dynamic shifts. The Stoic wisdom here is simple, but profound. Don't place your happiness in anyone else's hands. When you take control of your own happiness, growth, and purpose, you naturally attract others, not because you need them, but because you've become the kind of person others want to be around. 2. The mistake of expecting immediate results. When it comes to practicing patience, especially in the realm of relationships, it can feel like an uphill battle. The temptation to expect immediate results is natural, but when it comes to silence as a strategy, many fall into the trap of thinking that a lack of contact will instantly force change. After taking a step back, many expect that the other person will quickly realize their absence and feel the impact. Thoughts like, she'll miss me by tomorrow, she'll come crawling back next week, might cross your mind. However, relationships and emotions don't operate on such a predictable timeline. Silence is not a magic bullet for instant gratification. It's a slow burn that requires patience and mastery. Imagine, for example, if you're always the one reaching out first. If you suddenly stop, it might take her some time to notice and adjust to your absence. At first, she may even experience relief, thinking, finally, some space. But as the days turn into weeks, that initial sense of freedom begins to transform into something deeper. Curiosity, doubt, and eventually longing begin to take root. This is when the real power of silence starts to show itself. The problem many face is that they set themselves up for disappointment by waiting for immediate results, constantly checking their phone for a message that may never come. This mindset is what undermines the effectiveness of silence. If you're fixated on when she will reach out or whether she's reacting as you hope, you are still emotionally dependent on her behavior. True silence, the kind that is effective in shifting dynamics, is not about waiting for her to respond. It's about releasing all expectations, letting go of the need for instant validation, and trusting that the process will work on its own time. Silence is powerful not because it yields immediate results, but because it gradually builds emotional impact. Over time, it forces the other person to reflect and feel the absence of your presence. That is the emotional shift that silence brings. So when you don't see instant results, don't lose faith. Recognize that the process is unfolding, even if it's happening out of sight. Mastering silence requires deep patience. It's a long game, one where those who can truly detach emotionally, trust the process, and let time do its work will ultimately reap the rewards. The key to harnessing silence effectively is understanding that, unlike the quick fixes we often desire, real change takes time. Stay steadfast and let the power of your silence grow over time, shifting the balance in ways you may not immediately see but will surely feel in the end. If you found this valuable, comment below and share it. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment, I trust the process. 3. The psychological impact of absence. When you choose to step back from someone's life, especially in the context of a relationship, you unknowingly create a void. This void has an undeniable power. It forces reflection. In silence, absence becomes a tool that can stir deep introspection, pushing the other person to examine the importance of your presence. You see, it's in the moments when you're no longer around that the real impact of your actions, your words, and your shared experiences begin to echo in their mind. This is particularly true in relationships. When you're no longer a constant presence, no texts, no calls, no comforting attention, her mind will begin to fill in the blanks, creating a narrative that often leads her to replay the past, revisiting memories, analysing old conversations, and second-guessing her decisions. It's a process psychologists often describe as emotional withdrawal, where the absence of your presence forces someone to confront the feelings they may have previously taken for granted. In this space, she may wonder, why hasn't he reached out? Is he seeing someone else? Did I make a mistake by pushing him away? These swirling questions can create a kind of emotional tension that, ironically, forces her to think about you even more. But the true strength of absence lies in the value you've added to her life before stepping back. If your presence was enriching, your contributions valuable, and your support consistent, your absence will weigh heavily on her. Yet, if your presence was marked by inconsistency or an over-reliance on her to fill emotional gaps, your absence may not leave the impact you desire. This is why it's crucial, during periods of no contact or distance, to prioritize your own growth. Work on strengthening yourself, building your confidence, and reinforcing your sense of self-worth. The more you cultivate your own sense of purpose and personal development, the more your absence will be felt when you choose to step away. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In essence, your silence is not just the absence of sound, it's a powerful tool to regain control and shift the power dynamics in your favor. It's not about playing games, but about making yourself indispensable in your own life first, so that, when you do step away, your absence speaks volumes. Have you ever experienced this kind of silence in a relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about how absence can be an effective strategy when used wisely. 4. The importance of focusing on yourself. Silence without self-improvement is like a car with no engine. It's going nowhere. Many make the mistake of using periods of silence, especially during no contact, as a time to sit idle, obsessing over whether she's thinking of them. But that's not the point of silence. The true power lies in using that time to focus on yourself, to grow, and to become the man she would regret losing in the first place. Ask yourself, what have you done for yourself since the silence began? Have you invested in your fitness, sharpened your skills, or found new passions? Or have you simply waited for her to come around? Real power comes from becoming the best version of yourself, not just from hoping she notices. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If your silence is paired with growth, it sends an unmistakable message. You're not waiting for her to decide your worth. You're moving forward, evolving, and becoming a better version of yourself. Women are drawn to men with purpose, men who are working on something bigger than themselves. When she eventually notices your transformation, whether through mutual connections, social media, or in person, it creates a ripple effect. She'll start asking herself, did I let go of something great? Did I misjudge him? That's the power of focusing on yourself. The silence, when paired with growth, forces her to reconsider everything. It turns the tables, making her question her choices and actions. And that, my friend, is when the true impact begins. Focus on becoming a man who doesn't just sit idle, but continues to grow and evolve. You are not just waiting for her to notice, you're making yourself the kind of person who deserves to be noticed. And that shift in energy speaks louder than any words could. What's your experience with this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Take control by focusing on your growth. Silence is your strength. Comment, growth is my power. 5. Why silence sometimes doesn't work. Silence can be a powerful tool, but like a sharp blade, it must be wielded with precision. Used correctly, silence can create an emotional distance that makes someone miss you, but when misused, it can backfire, leaving you with nothing but regret. Here's the hard truth. Too many people approach silence with the wrong mindset. They think, if I stop texting or calling, she'll realize how much she needs me. But silence isn't about punishing someone or trying to make them feel your absence. It's about cultivating strength within yourself, not trying to manipulate others into desiring your attention. When you're still reaching for your phone, anxiously waiting for her to text, or wondering if she's thinking about you, that silence will have no effect. She won't feel it because deep down, she knows you're still emotionally attached to her, waiting for her to respond. The true power of silence comes from an authentic place, a place where you're genuinely taking time for yourself, focusing on your growth and inner peace, not trying to force her to notice you. Women, like all people, can sense when intentions aren't pure. If your silence feels like a tactic or a game, she will feel manipulated and lose respect for you. In fact, she might even see it as an immature or needy behavior, which is far from what you want. The key is to make your silence about yourself, about your self-respect, your boundaries, and your commitment to personal growth. It's not about triggering a reaction in her. It's about honoring yourself. True silence is a side effect of your growth, of your ability to stand on your own and show that your happiness is not dependent on anyone else. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you allow yourself to grow through silence and strengthen your emotional independence, your silence will become an undeniable sign of your inner power. But without that foundation, silence is nothing more than empty space. Remember, true power lies not in manipulating others, but in mastering yourself. So instead of using silence as a tool to create absence, use it as a way to build presence within yourself. If you've ever experienced the pain of feeling like you're invisible to someone you care about, it's time to shift that power back to where it belongs, within you. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You are enough as you are. Take a moment to reflect on this and share your thoughts in the comments. 6. Why chasing her backfires. Chasing her is a strategy doomed to backfire, and here's why. When you chase after someone who has pulled away from you, you inadvertently send the message, I don't value myself enough to wait for you to see my worth. This self-deprecating behavior signals weakness, stripping you of respect and control in the relationship. When you chase her, you eliminate all mystery, all intrigue. There's no tension, no excitement, because you've already shown all your cards. She no longer has to wonder what you're thinking or feeling. You've made it crystal clear. And here's a harsh reality. Human nature craves what it can't easily have. People desire what's out of reach, what feels unattainable. But when you make yourself too available, you lose your allure, and with it, her appreciation. In relationships, accessibility often breeds indifference. So, What's the antidote? It's about patience, self-respect, and strength. Instead of chasing her, focus on building an aura of confidence and independence. Show her that you're the kind of man who doesn't revolve his world around anyone's validation, least of all hers. Let her come to you. When you pull back, you create the space for her to reflect on her feelings, on what she might be losing. It's not about playing games or ignoring her. It's about asserting your value without compromise. When you respect yourself enough to not chase her, you increase your value in her eyes. She will begin to see you as the man who stands firm in his worth, not one who bends or chases for the sake of approval. As Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." The more you disregard the need to chase, the more power you regain, not just in the relationship, but in your own life. This is not only a strategy for personal strength, but also for keeping the balance of power intact. Make her chase you and watch her respect for you grow. Now think about this. Are you willing to stand strong? Or will you chase after what may never truly be yours? Choose wisely. Like, comment, and let me know. Are you ready to reclaim your power? If you're ready to reclaim your power, comment, "I am the man who commands respect, not seeks approval." 7. How to handle it. When she reaches out. When she reaches out after your silence, it can feel like a tempting moment to regain control. Whether her message is casual, like a simple "hey," or more intimate, the way you respond plays a crucial role in shaping the dynamic of your relationship going forward. The immediate urge might be to jump in, to respond quickly, and to show that you're available. However, that impulse to react impulsively is exactly what needs to be resisted. Quick responses, driven by eagerness, can undermine all the progress you've made while maintaining your distance. This silence, after all, isn't just a passive absence. It's an intentional strategy that allows you to regain your power and shift the dynamics in your favor. So before you say anything, take a deep breath and pause. Why is she reaching out now? Is it genuine interest? Or could it be a subtle test of your emotions? A way to gauge how much power she still holds over you? Understanding her intentions is essential because it will help you decide how to respond without losing your center. When you finally do respond, let your approach reflect calm, control, and confidence. Avoid rushing into the conversation with intense emotions or any heavy topics. There's no need to dive into the past or rehash old arguments. Keep the tone light, interesting, and engaging. For instance, if she inquires about your well-being, answer in a way that shows you're thriving. Talk about something positive that's happening in your life, something that demonstrates your growth and independence. This gives her a glimpse of your life without her and reinforces a powerful, subtle message. You're not waiting for her validation or approval. The idea isn't to play games or act indifferent. It's about preserving your self-respect and independence, which in turn makes you more attractive. In the context of Stoic wisdom, think of this as an opportunity to practice the art of emotional detachment. The Stoics taught that we must maintain control over our responses, not letting external circumstances dictate our internal state. By choosing not to overreact to her message, you are embodying that self-mastery. Remember, silence isn't a tool for punishment. It's a tool for self-empowerment. When you handle her outreach with ease, without scrambling for reassurance, you shift the balance of power. She will begin to see you as someone who is secure and grounded, someone who doesn't need external validation to feel complete. This newfound perception of you will inevitably spark more attraction, because true confidence comes not from needing approval, but from being content in your own skin. In today's world, this strategy is not just effective in relationships, it's a powerful way to navigate life in general. Whether it's in business, friendships, or romantic relationships, holding on to your composure and control leads to respect and admiration from others. So use this moment wisely. Drop a comment. "I am the man who holds the power," like subscribe, and stay unshakable. 8. Why confidence is key. Confidence is the bedrock of attraction. It's the force that draws attention and leaves a lasting mark on anyone who encounters it. In the realm of relationships, particularly when silence comes into play, confidence becomes the silent, yet undeniable measure of your worth. If your silence is driven by insecurity or fear, she will sense it, and this will drive her away. But when your silence stems from a place of self-assurance and inner strength, it communicates far more than words could. It becomes a statement of power and control, demonstrating that you are not just another person vying for attention, but a man of value who chooses his actions based on what aligns with his true self. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words ring true when we understand that confidence isn't simply the way you carry yourself, it's about the way you see yourself. Do you recognize your intrinsic worth, or are you chasing the fleeting validation of others? The beliefs you hold about yourself shape your actions, and those actions shape the perception others have of you. During a period of no contact, it's essential to focus on building that inner confidence. Cultivate your self-worth by setting goals, pursuing personal growth, and enriching your life outside of her presence. When she sees that you're thriving, independent, and content on your own, it forces her to reevaluate her assumptions. The silence you've imposed doesn't show weakness. It showcases that you're complete without needing to seek anything from her. And this shift in how she sees you will inevitably make her question her choices. Did she really make the right decision? Or was she letting go of someone who could bring something valuable into her life? This is the power of true confidence, built not on arrogance, but on a quiet acknowledgement of your own value. Your silence, when rooted in strength, transforms into an irresistible force, making you more desirable than ever. So, take control, reinforce your worth every day, pursue self-improvement, and in doing so, you'll naturally command the respect and attention that you deserve. Leave her questioning her decisions, wondering if letting you slip away was the mistake she'll regret. Confidence is key, and it's your greatest weapon. Don't just sit back, take action. Engage with this power. If you're ready to be the man who stands firm in his own worth, leave a comment below with, "I am a man of value," and subscribe for more powerful insights. Thanks for watching, my friend. I hope today's Stoic wisdom helps you take control and find strength in silence. It's not a weakness, it's a strategy. If this video resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful insights. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay strong, stay focused, and I'll see you in the next one.